Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hometalk's Facebook Live. I'm Mary from RealGirlsRealm.com, and I'm here from North Carolina. And tonight I'm going to show you how to make a jewelry holder that will make all your friends jealous in just 4 steps. So, before we get started, I want to know where y'all are tuning in from. So if you'll leave it in the comments, and we'll get ready to get started here in just a minute. So how many of you own a ton of jewelry? I confess I have 2 stand-up jewelry chests that are almost full. So I wanted some way to display some of the jewelry that I wear every single day since I can't ever find my jewelry. And I know that some of you guys probably are in the same boat since this is my most popular project on Hometalk. It's been pinned on Hometalk tote bag. So how awesome is that? So that's all you have to do is just answer the question, what have you made a jewelry holder out of? And I will pick my favorite one at the end. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm first going to go over the supplies you need. And I've got those here on the table. First, you need a wooden frame. And it's just a basic frame that you can get at any hobby store or at Home Depot or at a craft store. And they come in different sizes. I've actually got 2 sizes here. That is a 12-inch. And then the one that we're going to be working with tonight is actually a 10-inch. So it's just a plain wood. Next, you'll need the decorative sheet metal. And I've got a couple of sheets here for you. And this is aluminum. It's easy to work with. It comes in small sheets. Again, this can be found at your craft store. So Michael's, Hobby Lobby, AC Moore, even I think Home Depot carries these. And they're made by MD Products. And they come in a pack of 2. And they come with different designs. So I've got this medallion design. And then I've got another like circular design, which I'm going to show you tonight in the product that we're using. So you'll need the metal sheets. And then we'll also need 10 snips, and that's to cut the metal sheeting. And then make sure when you're working with metal to always use safety gloves. So if you can see, these are rubberized on the inside so that you don't cut yourself. Because when you cut metal, you have really sharp edges. And then always safety first with your safety goggles, which we'll put on here in a minute when we get started, because you always want to be safe. Then you'll also need a stapler, and we just use the heavy-duty stapler. And this basically attaches the metal to your wooden frame. And then we need a drill, because we're going to drill holes for your knobs, and decorative knobs. So these are just crystal knobs. They're by Liberty Hardware from Home Depot, but you can get knobs pretty much anywhere. And actually, Hobby Lobby has a ton of awesome knobs. They have like a whole aisle, and I could spend literally like the whole day in there looking at all their cool, pretty knobs. So you can find some for any decor. And you can actually use more. So I'm only using 2 tonight, but this frame could actually take 3 or 4 knobs. There's room on it. And the larger frame could even be more, so you have even more room to hold your jewelry. And then also we've got picture hanging hardware. So we're going to put this on the back of the frame to hang it onto the wall. And I'm just going to use the flat tooth one, and you'll see that here in just a minute. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to take the wood frame, and if you want to paint it, that's step 1. So you'll want to paint it, but for the sake of time, we're not going to paint it, because then you would have to sit and watch paint dry, and that would be super boring. So I'm just going to leave it. The finished product I'm going to show you at the end, if you stay tuned, has been painted. So paint it and let it dry. And then we can get started on what we are doing right now. So who do we have tuning in?
Sandra's from Brazil.
From Brazil. Wow, that's far away. Well, who else do we have tuning in tonight?
Hannah is watching from New York City.
Oh, hey, Hannah.
Joyce is from Kentucky.
Kentucky, okay.
Barbara from Michigan.
Michigan, okay, so we're all over.
And a hello from League Skinner in Denmark.
Oh, Denmark, wow. That's amazing. So cool that you guys are tuning in from like all around the globe. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. First, what you want to do is we are going to measure your sheet metal. So the good thing about the 10-inch frame is it is practically like perfect for these sheets. So that's why I'm using a 10-inch with these. So what you want to do is mark my pencil, line it up, and because we want to cut it. So I'm going to just use my little pencil to make a mark there. And then you can use your 10 snips to cut it. And also, you also want to figure out where you want your hardware to go because we're going to need to cut out for that too. So I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. So I've already figured that out. But what we're going to do is measure. So the frame from side to side is 12 inches. So you kind of want to split that difference. So I'm putting the holes and then 8.5, and that kind of spaces them out. And then if you wanted 3, I'd probably put another one right around 6 if you wanted to do an extra hole for another knob. So once you do that and figure out where you want your holes, we can drill our holes in there. So to drill the holes, you need to find a bit that's about the same size as. So while we're drilling, has anybody said what they have made a jewelry holder out
of?
A pin board frame with chicken wire.
Okay, so that's kind of similar to this project.
And a garden hose.
Oh, a garden hose.
And
okay.
A clothes hanger.
Okay. I can see a clothes hanger. I hang my scarves on clothes hanger. Okay. So we've got our holes drilled for our hardware. And if you're drilling, I'm on my dining room table, so make sure you put some type of board underneath so you don't drill into your table. But it's also probably good for even if you're on like a workbench. Okay, so now, since we know where our holes are going to be, we're going to lay our metal screen back over and just kind of mark on there on each side of your hole because obviously you need to cut out around it so that your knobs can still fit through. So I've marked it. And I've actually already pre-cut my piece here just because it is kind of hard to do and, you know, using the 10 snips and the gloves. So I cheated and I cut my piece. But you can see how the edges are raggedy and that it can be really sharp. So again, make sure that you're wearing gloves when you work with this aluminum because it's thin and it can cut you. So you can see I've cut it to fit, and then this has a little circular pattern with squares in the middle. So they've got several different designs which are really cool and can be pretty much used for anything. They also have different colors, so they have like gold and copper colors. So if silver doesn't really go with your decor, you can choose the gold or copper. So this will be really fun. Okay, so now we're going to center it on the back of the frame. And I'm going to take my board out. And we're going to use our stapler. So if anybody is just tuning in and wonder what the heck we're doing, we are making a super cool jewelry holder using a wooden frame and aluminum decorative sheeting that you can find at the craft store or hobby store. So far we've drilled the holes for the hardware and we have cut our metal sheeting to size. So has anybody else just tuned in recently?
Yeah, Carol would like to know where you can buy the metal.
Okay, so you can buy this at any craft store or at Home Depot. And I've seen these actually at Michael's and AC Moore and Hobby Lobby. And I don't know if you have those in your area. I think some of them are national chains. But just check your local craft store. Or you can probably go online to MD Products. That's who makes it. So it's just MD, like lowercase, products. Okay, so we are stapling. I'm going to put one in each corner. What other DIY jewelry holders do we have there?
Kathy uses a vintage dresser mirror.
Ooh, I bet that's pretty.
Kathy uses pegboard.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that too. I've seen some really cool painted pegboards on Hometalk and on other sites. Okay, so I'm putting a staple in each corner, and then I'm also stapling down on either side of where I'm going to put the hardware, so that way it doesn't like catch me. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the give me some little hearts or share it with your friends. Share it on your timeline so that all your friends can have this jewelry holder. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over. And I decided to add a little extra feature for this Hometalk. So you guys are getting a new and improved feature. And this is going to add one more piece of storage. So I'm going to put a dowel across the front of it to hold your bracelets. So now it'll hold earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. So I hope it's okay that I'm going rogue a little bit and changing up my project. So what we're going to do is I've got a dowel that you can get we got this at Home Depot. And we're going to measure it. And it depends on if you want it to hang off some or if you want it flush. So I'm going to let mine hang off just like an inch. So I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Okay. And then you can cut it. And if you have a miter box, this is very, very easy for cutting little stuff like this. And I think it's actually for like molding. Here, let me put it on so I don't go cutting through my table here. Okay, so we're going to just cut this real quick. Okay. So see, that's super simple. Okay, so we are going to, I think I'm going to put it down near the bottom. And I've got these little J hooks, if you can see what they look like. And I'm going to put those on the front. And then the dowel will just sit in the J hooks, so it'll easily remove. So let me get my, actually I need to drill the holes. So we're going to mark it with our pencil once we get it, measure it up so that it doesn't be crooked. Okay, so do we have any other questions coming in? Does anybody have any questions so far while you're watching me do this? Okay, I'm going to measure at 4.5, so that way it's even. Okay, and again, we're just going to drill in, and I actually probably need a smaller bit for these screws. So we'll open this up and change it out real quick. So no questions? You guys are all good? You still with me?
Barbara says she uses trinkets like a little elephant to hold her rings.
Oh, that's cute. I need to come up with something to hold my rings. Okay, so we got the shaft tightened down on here. Okay, so we are just going to drill. And you don't need to go very far because it's just to get the screw started. And the reason you drill is so that you do not split your wood when you start drilling in.
Connie is asking where the sheet metal came from. She said she just joined.
Welcome, Connie. The sheet metal you can actually buy at any craft store. It comes in a 2-pack and it's large like this. So it's this size and then you can cut it down. But it's made it by MD Products, and I've seen it at Michael's, AC Moore, Hobby Lobby, and Home Depot, just for a few. And then again, you can get it probably online too, I'm sure, if you don't have one of those stores, but probably any craft store. Okay. Thank you. My bit. Wrong way. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I've got my bit in now. So we're just going to drill these J-hooks in. There we go. And I got it a little bit tight. Okay. Okay, there we go. I just want to tighten it all the way down and then get my other screw. Okay. Okay. So now we've got those in, and so the dowel is just going to sit right there on those hooks. So before we put the hardware on, which is the last step, I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to put something to hang it up with. So you can use pretty much anything that you want as far as picture hooks to hang it up with. I personally like to use the flat with the little teeth, just because it kind of sits flat against the wall, and then you put a nail on it. But you could do, like the wire on either side, the picture hanging wire like this. However you want to hang it, really, is not like a big deal. Okay, let me get my little screws out here, or nails, not screws. So any other questions?
Luke is just tuning in, and they want to know what you're making.
Oh, if you are just tuning in, I am making a jewelry holder out of a wooden frame and metal sheeting and knobs. So we're about 3/4 of the way through. We're actually almost done making this. That's how super easy it is. So tell me, guys, if you what have you made a jewelry holder out of? I'm going to be choosing one in just a few minutes to win a Hometalk tote bag. Okay, I'm going to eyeball this here to get it pretty much centered. Okay.
Explain the pliers? Or?
I was just using the pliers to hold, to try to hold my nail, but I don't know if that's going to work, so I might just end up trying to hold it with my finger and not hurt myself.
Carol has a question.
Sure. What's your question, Carol?
She wants to know why you put the notches on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so the notches on the bottom of the screen is to allow room for the hardware that we're going to put on the front. So we needed to leave a notch because we need to screw the hardware in. Okay. This is where you need an extra hand, y'all. promise it's not this hard in real life. Once you get it started, okay. Oh my goodness. This is live TV. Here, my husband's going to help me. Got 3 hands now. Okay. There we go. There's where you need 3 hands. These little tiny nails. So do we have anybody else just tuning in?
Tammy is from Indiana.
Okay, hey from Indiana.
Ann is watching from Kansas.
Go Kansas. Okay. There we go. This is like the hardest part of it. And I'm going to bend my nail there, but we can fix it later. We won't tell anybody. Okay, so it's the pressure of live TV. Okay, so we are about ready to finish this up, actually. That's how super simple it is. So here's my knobs. And the knobs just have a screw. I mean, this is like super simple. So you just screw up through the back and then screw your knob on the front. Okay, so, and again, any kind of knobs you can go with your decor. You could get some like little cute like animal ones for like a kid's room if it's a little girl's room. Or like I said, Hobby Lobby, they have like the best knobs ever. Okay, so I think that is everything, and then we're going to put our dowel on. And that's going to hold your bracelets. So again, if you've seen my project on Hometalk, it does not have the dowel part. I kind of added that for this live to have like something extra and different for my project. So you can just slide your bracelets on the rod here, or you can take it off. So if you just want to hang earrings on here. So I'm going to bring my finished project over that I actually made for myself and that hangs on my wall. So this is a finished one. And this has been painted. It's painted like a pale yellow color that goes with my decor. And then I use the pretty turquoise sea glass knobs because I love the yellow and teal together. And then I have all of my earrings. These are ones that I wear like frequently and like pretty ones. So it's kind of like you could use it as art if you have really pretty, like nice jewelry. And it's functional. So how cool is that? I'm sure all your friends are going to be jealous and want one. So when this is over, make sure you share it to your friend's page or to your page. So that way everybody can watch the replay and you can all make this. Okay, so are there any questions before we get ready to pick a winner? The winner. Okay, Patricia Sampson is the winner. And so congratulations, you will be getting a Hometalk tote bag. So I hope you enjoyed the demo tonight. If you want more information on this tutorial and others like this, make sure you visit my website, which is www.realgirlsrealm.com. And I think they're going to put all of my information in the comments. You can also find me on Hometalk. If you visit my blog, you can click on the thumbnail for this DIY jewelry holder project, and it'll take you directly to the post. And I actually link to all the supplies I used. So I'll link directly to the metal sheeting, since I know that's what a lot of people had questions about, because a lot of people have never seen that product. And then I link to the knobs I use, because I know a lot of, I've had a lot of comments on the sea glass knobs, because they're gorgeous. So I'll link to all my supplies if you head over to my blog. And also, additionally, if you make one of these, please tag me on social media. So go follow me and tag me, or you can just send me an email. So if you're not on social media, then send me an email. I have it in my contact info on the blog. I would love to see if you make one and what yours looks like. That would be so awesome. So if you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button up in the top. And we are going to be going live tomorrow with another demo at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned. Good night, everybody.